Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 8 for the event progeny prospects. In this example, we are going to study a female chart whose destiny for the progeny is supportive, but with some hurdles or influence of the unfavorable planets, which are making the destiny some weakness or indicated. But it is supportive. But the running periods at the time of marriage, they are not favorable. They are having the strong unfavorable key planets which are influencing the destiny. They are ruling the dasa. So that way, that dasa period is not strongly favorable for the pregnancy. And the next dasa, which is also having some weakness, but is comparatively better than the previous dasa. So that is supportive for the pregnancy, but that is also having some weakness. Therein, it needed the medical assistance. Normally, medical assistance is required for two reasons. One is the destiny itself will have mixed significations, wherein some supportive therapy is required for the pregnancy. Then second one is that the destiny will be supportive with only with some obstacles, but running dasa periods may not be strong enough. So when the running period is not strong enough, there also it needs the medical assistance. Medical assistance also we can take it in two ways. One is that medical assistance means suppose that that male or female can have some health issues or some issues with their reproductive organ function and quality of the egg or quality of the sperm. So with such a fertility treatment, that can become normal. It means what? The destiny will be supportive with some weak obstacles and some treatment can be recovered, and that fertilization also can take place normally in the favorable period. That is one way. Another way is that there will be strong obstacles. Even with such therapy is not going to be helpful, wherein we need such additional or latest technique that is called IVF, in vitro fertilization. It means what? The egg of the female and the sperm of the male are, they are being fertilized outside the body in the laboratory. So in incubation, so it is being incubator. So in the outside the body, they are being fertilized, and after the fertilization, that is being implanted on the uterus, in the uterus of the female. That is called IVF. So that is normally it is nowadays in the practice, right? Even that is also possible only for the people who are having possibility of pregnancy but with some weak signification. So only for that the such techniques also will be useful, wherein the destiny should be supportive for such favorable significations, and also along with the Jupiter's support also will be further more supportive, and the running period also should have the strong favorable key planets, even if it is along with the unfavorable. So that way, the two way of the treatment will be useful. And now we are going to talk about in this chart, the destiny is promising, but with weakness. The running period, in which the marriage happened, that was not favorable because that is holding the unfavorable key planet of the destiny. That destiny planet is influenced by which unfavorable key planet? That unfavorable key planets are ruling the dasa. So that is making the dasa is weak. And the next dasa, which is also having such unfavorable, but it is comparatively better than the previous dasa, and that dasa also having some favorable key planets in their support. So with that one, then during that medical treatment, in the favorable bugdi, that fertilization happened and delivery also happened in the in the stipulated time period. So we are going to study this case now, which that lady got the baby after the IVF. Example number 8, timing of childbirth, pregnancy through IVF treatment. Now let us examine the birth chart of that female. This is the birth chart of that female. And now we are going to examine the birth chart for the general study. Let me open the South North Indian chart. Let us examine the fifth house. Lagna is falling in the sign of Cancer. Fifth cusp is falling in the sign of Scorpio. Fifth Lord, Mars. Fifth Lord, Mars is posted in the eighth house. Fifth Lord in the eighth house is not good in general because it is occupying the fourth house from the fifth house, and eighth house is not a good house for the Lagna also. That Mars is aspected by any planet other than this? Yes, Mars is aspected by Jupiter by ninth aspect. Jupiter aspecting from the 11th house as per degree from the Gemini sign. It is 6th Lord, 9th Lord from the 11th house. It is aspecting. Though it is 6th Lord, 9th Lord also occup from the 11th house. It is aspecting, so that is supportive. It is indicating it is not unfavorable. That 5th Lord is aspected by the Jupiter is good, and also that Jupiter also is aspecting any other planet. No, it is aspecting 4th house, and no, Jupiter is not aspecting any other planet. Yes, Jupiter is aspecting to the moon by 7th aspect. Moon is Lagna Lord. And Mars is posted in the sign of Saturn. Saturn is also posted in its own sign, but in the 6th house, and it's conjoined with the Rahu. Rahu is occupying the sign of Saturn, so represents Saturn and indirectly influencing the Mars. That is called indirect conjunction in EPS. Mars is getting the indirect influence of the Rahu, that is occupying 6th house. So that 5th Lord Mars is getting the influence of the Rahu from the 6th house, and also 6th Lord, 9th Lord, Jupiter is aspecting to the Mars. So Mars is getting the support also. Mars is getting influence from the Rahu, indirectly Saturn. So Saturn is 7th Lord and 8th Lord from the 6th house. So it is indicating some weakness because 6th house is connecting to the some health issues to the Lagna, and also it is not favorable house. It is an unfavorable house for the pregnancy also. So basically it is indicating some weakness, but not completely detrimental, because Jupiter is being the 9th Lord from the 11th house is aspecting Mars. So now we could see that some affliction is present, but only by way of detailed signification of the Rahu, which is influencing Mars and Jupiter, we can find that influence is going to be more unfavorable side or favorable side. That we have to check in the self-significations. Now it is indicating some weakness, but not detrimental completely. Okay, so now let us check the self-significations. Let us go to the self-signification. Let us study now. Self-significator and planet colors. Lagna Lord Moon occupying 5th house and close to 6th cusp and 3, 7, 11 cuspal star. This is good. 1 and 6 is indicating some weakness to the health, but 5, 3, 7, 11 are good. Second planet Ketu occupying 12th house and close to Lagna and 7th cusp. So these are all good only because of the 6th house and 12th house and Lagna connecting to this one. We can say some weakness, but not detrimental. We can give blue color. Otherwise, if it is not having the 6th house, we can give would have given green also, but we can give blue or light green also we can give. But because of the 6 and 12, I am giving blue. Blue also good only. Then 5th Lord. 10th Lord occupying 8th house. 5th Lord, 10th Lord occupying 8th house, 2 and 4 cuspal sublord. 5th Lord, 2nd sublord is good for the pregnancy because 5th house and 2nd house. And 10th Lord occupying 8th house indicating weakness, and 4th house also indicating weakness. So because of this 5 and 2, we can give Mars is pink shade. And 6th Lord, 9th Lord. 6th Lord, 9th Lord I'm taking now. 6th Lord, 9th Lord occupying 11th house, but 12th Star Lord and 6 and 12 Cuspal Sublord. So this is not having any 4th house, 8th house, but 6th house, 6 and 12 are indicating some weakness to the Lagna's health that can cause some obstacles also. So because of the 9 and 11 is good, this is good. So, but 6, 12, 6 and 12 are weak. So we can give that Jupiter, we can give the light pink because it is having unfavorable also on the higher side, but favorable also 9 and 11 is present. We can give pink also, but differentiate the other pink. So I'm giving that light pink. It indicate unfavorable on the higher side and favorable also present. And 4th Lord, 11th Lord, occupying 8th house, close to 9th cusp, 216 cuspal star Lord, that is not a problem. 1, 5, 8, 11 cuspal star Lord. 11th Lord, 9th occupant, 2nd star Lord, and 1, 5, 8, and 1, 11. 1, 5, 11 cuspal sublord being the 11th Lord, that itself is strong. 11, 9, 1, 5, 11 cuspal sublord. Because of the 4th Lord, it is not weak, but occupying 9th house, 8th house close to 9s, 4, 8, and 8 cuspal sublord. Some weakness are present. So because of that, I'm giving Venus blue color. Because that is having favorable grouping up to the sublord CSL 1, 5, 11 cuspal sublord. 11th Lord and occupant the 9th house and 2 and 1, 5, 11. So I'm giving blue. And 2nd Lord occupying 10th house. 2nd house is good. Occupying 10th house, it is indicating some weakness, but it is not detrimental. So what we can do, Sun also we can give blue, right? And Moon, we already given 1, 5, 6, 3, 7, 11. So having got blue for all these planets, definitely we can give Moon can be given light green also. I think Moon we can give light green because these planets we are given blue, then this also comparatively better we are giving that again blue, then that makes the difference. So and I want to make the difference with the help of the color, right? And Rahu, 6th occupant, 11th closed, and 4, 8, 10. This is not good. This is not good. Saturn is having some strength, but this is not good. So Rahu we can give light red. And Saturn, 7th Lord, 8th Lord occupying 6th house and 3rd star Lord. 7 and 3 are good. 8 and 6 are having some weakness, but they are not supported here, but 7 is supported. And second planet also having weakness that we already given light red. So Saturn has to be given pink. It's a mixed one. We cannot say it is unfavorable. And Mercury, 3rd Lord, 12th Lord occupying 9th house, 159 star Lord and 9th sublord. This is good. So Mercury can be given light green. So Moon and Mercury are given light green. And Venus also good, but because of this 4, 8, 2, 6, 10, and 8 sublord, I'm giving that blue. But even this also can be given light green because of the fourth lord and occupying 8th house also connected. So I'm giving that blue. So that Sun is 2nd Lord occupying 10th house. 2nd house is good and 10th occupant is weak. So instead of blue, I think we can give okay, let it be blue, not an issue. Later, when we are going to study the level-wise study, we can differentiate. And Ketu we missed. Ketu occupying 12th house, close to Lagna and 7th cuspal sublord. So, and second planet Moon is also a good planet. We are given green color. So, Ketu having 12 and 1 and 7 being the Ketu planet occupant of the 12th, it is having some weakness, but 7th sublord is fine. So, we can give blue. So I think we are given, colors, but important colors we have to look into that. Rahu is red, light red, and Jupiter is having mixed one, and Saturn also mixed one. So all other planets are supportive. So the important unfavorable key planet we can see from here is the Rahu. And then comes the Jupiter, right? Unfavorable, 8 and 12 significator, 6, 4, 8, 10, or 6, 12 significator. Only these two planets are having. So let us set the color and check the significations in the EPS table. destiny we will check, and also the dasa periods. Now let us go to the home page and do the further analysis. First, let us check the destiny. Then we check the periods in which she got married, and the periods and all we will check later. Now we have to check the significators. I'll keep it here. And fifth lord. And also I can keep that birth chart also open. Already North Indian chart is open, and let me keep open this also. Fifth lord is Mars, and fifth sublord is Venus. These two planets we have to check, right? So let me little scroll up. Just a minute. Mars and Venus, right? Okay. Now we have got all the tables and also birth charts. Fifth lord Venus. Venus is a good planet, good key planet, and Mercury star lord is green planet is good. 12 level is Venus again, sublord Mercury. All planets are our favorable key planets. So that is not indicating any weakness. So Venus is posted in the sign of Jupiter, and Mercury in the sign of Mars, right? Conjoined with the sun. So sun is also favorable. Mars is having some weakness. So that Mercury in the sign of Mars have got some weakness, but not detrimental, because 5, 10, 4 and 2 and 4. 5, 10, 8, 2 and 4 cuspal sublot. It indicates some weakness. That's all. But looking at the grouping, it is good only, but some weakness are present. Since the same planets are repeated, let us check the subsublord of the Venus. Venus subsublord is Rahu, because Venus in the star and sub of Mercury. So let us check the Rahu subsublord. As we are aware that, just a minute, Rahu is the unfavorable key planet, right? Rahu is the unfavorable key planet because Rahu is the red planet, having got all the unfavorable 6, 4, 8, 10 cuspal sublord. Now what happens? That planet, Venus subsublord is Rahu, that is not good. Subsublord is Rahu, unfavorable. Moreover, you can see here that so Rahu, that representing Saturn is aspecting to the Venus. Venus is posted in the sign of Jupiter. That Jupiter is another unfavorable mixed planet with some unfavorable grouping, and that Saturn is aspecting to the Venus, that source planet, and also the 2A level and the last level planet Venus, that is getting the influence of the Saturn by way of aspect. So sublord Rahu through the second planet Saturn, because both are conjoined also, strongly it will be getting the ruler link. The Venus, Mercury, not Mercury, Venus is getting the influence of the Rahu by way of the Saturn. And Venus is already influenced by the Jupiter, the Rasi Lord. So that way, that subsublord Rahu is weak. They are all favorable. That destiny planet is influenced by the Rahu and Saturn influencing the Venus. So that way, and also Jupiter. That way, that destiny is favorable. It is favorable only. Definitely, it will support you for the pregnancy or progeny. But only thing is influenced by the unfavorable Rahu and Jupiter. So now we have to check the fifth cuspal sublord. Fifth sublord only we checked. No, I forgot to check the fifth lord. Fifth lord is Mars. Let us examine the fifth lord Mars. Fifth lord Mars in the star of is mixed one in the star of Jupiter. Fifth Lord also moving towards this one, 2 and 4. In this star of Jupiter, it's a mixed one. So 5 is getting support of the 9 and 11 favorable. But similarly, that fourth cuspal sublord is getting the support of this. So both favorable and unfavorable are supported at the star level, Jupiter. That Jupiter in the star of Rahu, which is again not supportive. So the fifth lord is getting weaker at the star level. But you can see the sublord is Saturn. Saturn is comparatively better than the Rahu. That Saturn is giving 7 and 9. It is, though it is representing Rahu, that is also having some favorable. It is not completely unfavorable. Now, moreover, we have to check whether there is any planet or supporting to the Mars. The role of Rahu is not directly playing here. That is one point. Unfavorable key planet, which is ruling the destiny planet, that Venus, sublord, that that Rahu is playing role to a level. That way it is comparatively better, and star level ruled by the Jupiter. Now we have to check any other planet or getting the support, giving the support to the Jupiter, which is having some weakness. Jupiter is, let us open that EPS table and check. Jupiter is having green planet, good key planet, moon, aspected by moon, which is posted in the sign of Jupiter itself. And Rasi Lord is Mercury, which is another favorable key planet. So Jupiter is getting the support of the two planets, Moon and Mercury, the good key planet, green color planet in their supports. And also Jupiter is Rasi Lord for Venus, our favorable strong key planet, despite weakness, but 5 and 11 cuspal sublord planet. So that way, Jupiter is getting the support of the other favorable key planets. That is good, right? It is not making the Jupiter is completely unfavorable. Being the ninth lord occupying 11th house, getting the support of this planet. So this fifth lord is getting some weakness that is being further supported the favorable planets. So it indicates it requires some treatment or medical treatment to get out of this sixth house. Sixth house is what? Some health issues, some sort of disease, some sort of defects, 4 connected to the sixth house. That will be supported by the, favorable key planets. The 2A level planet, Rahu, also having weakness. That Rahu is conjoined with its sign lord. It is having some supportive significations. But Rahu having weakness, but fortunately it is there at the 2A level planet, right? And sublord again Saturn is coming. That Saturn is getting the Ketu and Venus in its supports. And the moon is also there in supports. So that Saturn is having some supportive key planets, Venus and moon in its rulers and in its supports. And the Saturn is in the star of favorable key planet, Sun. That is second lord, already conjoined with the Mercury. It means what? If you look at the rulers of the Mars is having mixed signification, but star level, sub-level are not very strong on their own, though it is having some strength. But because of the support planets in the star level and sub-level, these planets are getting some strength. So it is not detrimental in their self-significations, but they are, because you can see, so fifth lord is not in the star of a planet like Rahu. It is talking about 6, 4, 8, 10 and all these things. But it is having some weakness along with that 9 and 11. And of course, Rahu is further weakening that, but further supported by the Saturn to some extent. And importantly, the key planets in supports are supporting to the Jupiter. The same way, sublord Saturn also getting the support, that 4th level planet also supportive. So it means what? Mars is the fifth lord planet is strongly having weakness than the 5th cuspal sublord. 5th sublord planet is influenced by the Jupiter by Rasi Lord and aspected by the Saturn representing Rahu. That Rahu itself is the sub-sublord of the Venus. So Rahu is at the last level is influencing. So weakness is present here, but that Rahu is playing role at the 2A level for the Mars. So Mars fifth lord having some weakness when compared to the fifth sublord. I think you are able to understand. So it needs some weakness or strongly indicated, and medical treatment or some sort of treatment are required to get out of the sixth house. Sixth house means what? Sixth house is some issues, some health issues. That fifth house is treatment. So six has to be supported by the 11th house and fifth house, that is being given by the support planets. This Jupiter itself having 9 and 11 is favorable. 5 is supported by 9 and 11, further supported by 7 and 3 at the three consequent levels, along with that unfavorable grouping, but support planets are giving strength. It indicates some weakness, but possibility for the pregnancy by way of the support. Support means external support by way of medical treatment. So that way we have to see that now. Now that native got married, let us check in which period the native got married. Let me check the marriage date. Date of marriage is 23/2016. Just a minute. 23/2016. Date of marriage 23/2016. So let us check the Dasa period. 23/2016. Moon Dasa 23. Up to 19/3/2016, Mercury Bugdi was running. So Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra up to 19/3, or Ketu Bugdi, Ketu Antra. So one day, as normally used to say, that just few seconds difference also, that one day that can be easily variable. But even as I said, no, the marriage would have been fixed in the Mercury Bugdi, and marriage would have been, social marriage been conducted during the Ketu. If you see here, Moon Dasa, let us check Moon Dasa. Moon is favorable for the marriage. Yes, Moon, star level, sub level having some weakness. For Dasa Lord, it is fine for the marriage. Okay. And that Moon, Bugdi Lord is Mercury, star Lord Venus, all are like Venus. It is having all the same planets are ruling. Mercury is favorable for the marriage. It is talking about 3, 9, 11, 2, 6, all are good only. So during Mercury Bugdi, that engagement would have been happen. As soon as that Ketu started, Ketu Bugdi, Ketu Antra, Ketu Bugdi Antra, you can see Ketu's even 7 and Mercury, good key planets are ruling the Ketu. So marriage happened during that Moon Dasa, just a minute, Moon Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra. That Saturn Antra is not strongly favorable. So Mercury Bugdi would have favored for the engagement, but Ketu would have given the marriage. Moon, Ketu would have got the marriage. Okay, so now we have to check. Already destiny is also promising, influenced by the Rahu, that is the sub-lord planet. Rahu is influencing the favorable and also through the supports we discussed. You check the Dasa Lord whether it is having such unfavorable. You can see fifth Lord already having strong influence by the unfavorable. So check the Moon, Dasa Lord Moon, which he got the marriage. Moon in the star of Venus, that is fine. And 12 level also fine. But look at the Rahu. Rahu is the unfavorable key planet which is influencing the destiny, that is ruling at the last level. I mean, sub-level. That, as we discussed, Saturn is aspecting to the Venus, forming the ruler link. So Venus already influenced by the Jupiter, because Jupiter sign only Venus is posted. So these are all favorable, but sublord planet Rahu is the unfavorable key planet which is influencing the destiny planet, fifth cuspal sublord planet. So because of that, Moon Dasa, Ketu Bugdi, he got the marriage. But within Moon Dasa, because of that unfavorable Rahu, it is ruling the sublevel, that was not favorable. Because otherwise you can see, Moon Dasa, Ketu Bugdi, then Venus Bugdi will be running. That is strong enough, though it is having unfavorable, that will not be supportive. Why? That Dasa Lord's unfavorable key planet is influencing this Venus. Same way for this Ketu also. Because of that, Dasa Lord's key planet is influencing the Ketu and Venus, or Venus, that is destiny planet, is influenced by the Rahu. That is playing role in the primary level in the Dasa Lord. So both the way, this planet, this you can see these planets are not favorable for the pregnancy. So Moon Dasa was not favorable. After that, Mars is coming. Mars Dasa is running. So definitely she would have got some sort of pregnancy. They would have not the pregnancy. They would have got the delayed cycle and all. They will be thinking that okay, marriage, sorry, conception taken place, but that can be miscarriage, or without notice they would have gone spoiled also. So it means what? That not very successful, right? Then Mars is starting. So Mars Dasa, when it is starting, 2016 got married, na? Mars is starting after the 2018 12th month, almost 2019. So after 3 years, almost after the 3 years only, Mars is starting. So 3 years is not a big problem for the delay and all. But you can check how the Mars, we had a detailed discussion on Mars. Mars in the star level having some weakness, 2A level is Rahu, and sub-level Saturn, not Rahu, and fourth level is Sun. If you look at these significations of the Mars, the unfavorable key planet which is influencing the destiny, that is Rahu. That Rahu, it is playing role only at the 2A level, not at the primary level. Here it is also playing role, that also second planet, then Saturn is comparatively better. So that is one point, that unfavorable key planet is not strongly playing role here. And favorable key planet, it is placing ruling, but Mars is a mixed planet, fifth lord, that is good, and second cuspal sublord. Source is good, supported by the star lord 911, and further supported by 7 and 3 and 2. It is indicating some grouping, not like this sublord Rahu. But that is not enough. It needs some more additional supports. That already discussed, that star lord planet Jupiter is in the sign of Mercury. Mercury is our favorable key planet. And that Jupiter is also, in the sign of Jupiter only, Venus is posted. Venus is our other favorable strong key planet. So that way we checked how far that star level planet Jupiter is getting the support from the other planet. And also Jupiter is aspected by Moon from the 5th house. That Moon is another favorable strong key planet. So Jupiter is having some weakness, but not detrimental. But 9 and 11, it is influenced by the Venus, Moon, and Mercury, making that Jupiter is comparatively better. But Rahu is weaker than the Jupiter, that we are sure. And sublord Saturn also the same way. Sublord Saturn is having some supportive significations, and 7 and 3, but still Rahu also there. That is getting support from the star lord Sun. Right? So that way, it is having some weakness, but having got some good supports also. The favorable key planet of the destiny, Venus and Mercury, they are all playing role here. Venus and Mercury, they are all influencing the star level. What about Mars? Mars planet is posted in the sign of Saturn, and that Mars also aspected by Jupiter by 9th aspect. Jupiter is having some weak signification, but also having 9 and 11. So Jupiter is forming ruler link to the Mars. So that way, that is also getting some support. And of course, Saturn also passing its, indirectly, that Rahu represents Mars. No, that also, some weakness also present. It means what? Mars also having some weakness, that is for sure. When compared to the Moon, what is the main advantage of Mars is the role of the Rahu unfavorable key planet, it is not playing role here. And another point is that the source planet is fifth lord. In the star of your planet, it is not having 4th house, 8th house, 12th house grouping. It means if Mars is in the star of, Rahu, then it will not be favorable. Now that Mars in the star of Jupiter having favorable 9 and 11, further supported by the other favorable key planet we checked. So Mars being the fifth lord, having got connection to the favorable and also impact of the favorable key planet through the supports. So this can be supportive, but with the help of the medical treatment only, or some medical assistance like IVF only, because such strong unfavorable grouping will cause obstacles for the proper 4, 6, 8, 12 are present. 4, 6, 12 and 10 also joining hands. It is indicating some obstacles for the such natural pregnancy. It needs medical assistance, since the destiny is already strong favorable despite some weakness. That weakness Rahu is not playing role here at direct level. That is good. So you can see that favorable key planets are not playing role directly in the Dasa Lord. That favorable key planets are playing role. Whatever the favorable key planet, green color and a blue color, you can see for Mars is having that green color, blue color in supports, moon, Mercury, and blue color, Venus and Ketu and moon. So they are all levels are having this favorable key planet in their supports. These receiving planet also capable to receive, because it is fifth lord, this is ninth lord and occupying 11th house, and sublord is seventh lord, having got all the favorable, and third sublord. So that way it is also supportive. So under Mars Dasa, definitely a treatment is required for the conception. So, and Mars Dasa, which Buddhi is favorable for the conception, we have to check now. We can see Mars is supportive, but we need a strong Buddhi for the conception. Mars is having favorable signification only through the supports, and the rulers are having some mixed significations, right? The strong favorable Buddhi free from the Rahu, free from the Jupiter role is required for the conception. Correct, no? Because they are the unfavorable key planet that are ruling the Dasa Lord. So we can see Rahu not strong enough, and Jupiter, Rahu not strong enough. Saturn and Rahu, this is not strong enough. Yes, Mercury is favorable. So Mars, Jupiter, these planets are under the influence of Venus and Mercury only. So that Mars Dasa, Mercury Buddhi is supportive for the pregnancy, right? So because the key planet of the destiny and key planets, key planets are favoring the destiny, favoring the Dasa Lord for this, for the pregnancy, they are in supports, not required to be the rulers. It is there in the supports also is enough. So that which planets and Mercury and Venus are playing role. So that way Mars Dasa, Mercury Buddhi is strong enough. Definitely they will be having the good key planet. What are the good key planet within the Dasa Lord? Mars is mixed one and Saturn, right? Not Rahu, Saturn and Sun. If you just open the Mercury, they will have this planet. Definitely they will have Mercury having Sun in conjunction, and Mars is there, 5 and 2. That is the Dasa Lord. It is present. So Mercury, Venus is having that Mars and Sun in their supports. So that way they are having, and second planet, Venus, Star Lord, is having aspected by the Saturn, our other favorable key planet in the Dasa Lord. So they are under the influence of the key planet of the Dasa Lord in the support, and Dasa Lord has got the favorable key planets in its supports. Correct? So this is a good example wherein the key planets of the destiny not required to be ruling directly as the ruler. Similarly, the key planets of the Dasa Lord not required to be directly ruling the Bhukti Lord. Right. So now within that Mercury Bhukti, obviously which Antra is supportive for the that conception? Ketu having good signification, all having all the key planets, and Venus. Right. So Venus or Ketu, which is more favorable, that we have to check, right? Venus or Ketu. Obviously, you can see 12th occupant and 7, and supported by this. More than that, you can see 11, 1, 5, star level is 159, all the planets. Starting with the 11th Lord and 1, 5, 11 cuspal sublord, all levels are supportive. Venus is favorable than the Ketu. So Mars Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, and Venus Antra, that conception, I mean, that IVF, through the IVF, the conception has taken place. Mars, Mercury, and Venus. They supported for the conception. So after the 9 months of the gestation period, so during the favorable period, that delivery will happen, supportive period. We cannot expect all the periods should be favorable, because when only few planets are strongly favorable for the pregnancy, we can have the Bugdian Antra in which the delivery is happening can have the impact of the favorable key planets, and also the good key planets having got second house and 11th house will be playing role. Now, the conception is taken place, in the Mars, Mercury, and Venus. Mars, Mercury, and Venus. Mars, Mercury, and Venus. So September, October, the conception is taken place. If you calculate from October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So June, in the month of June, that 9 months is completing. If the conception is taken place in the which month I said, Mars Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, Venus Antra. Suppose in 10th month it is conceived, 11, from the 11th month we have calculated. 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 month means, August, na? So, or if it is conceived from the 9th month or 10th month, if it is calculating, July or August only will be coming, right? In August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 9 months is completed in the month of June 2023. If it is conceived, if we calculate from the 10th month, if it is calculating from the 9th month, then July will be the month. So either that childbirth would have happened in June or July 2023. Let us check. From June onwards itself, Ketu Bugdi starts. We have to check Ketu is favorable. Yes, we have studied Ketu also a good planet. So Ketu Bugdi during that period, the last trimester of the pregnancy is going on. So that Ketu is June, July. And this you can see June, July month are running during this period. At the time, you can see that the July month, Venus, Sun, Moon, all are running. So we have to check which period that delivery happened. Let us check the date of the delivery, the childbirth, 30 July 2023. Just a minute. Let me erase this. Date of childbirth, 30 July 2023. Only, recently only the childbirth happened. Let us see, 37 2023. You can see Moon Antra, Ketu Bugdi Moon Antra. So at the end of July, so delivery happened. So it means what? Let us check the Dasa Lord is Mars, Bugdi Lord is Ketu, and Antra is Moon Antra. Let us check whether Moon is favorable. Yeah, we have already discussed that Ketu is good and all are favorable. And under the Mars, Bugdi, Mars Dasa, Mercury is favored for the conception. But during the pregnancy, that Ketu Bugdi started in this in the last trimester, that Ketu is favorable. within that Ketu in favorable antra, the delivery should happen at the time of when the gestation period as per the pregnancy period is complete. So now you can see Ketu represents moon. Moon itself is playing. Star Lord is good key planet. 12 level also good. Sublord only is the weak one. Please understand, for the delivery, when the Bugdi is strong enough, delivery can happen during the period, Antara period, which can have some weakness also. You understand? We cannot expect that Antara should be strongly favorable only. When the Bugdi is strong, Antara can be supportive for the planet is enough. You can see here, Moon Dasa was not strong enough to give the pregnancy because it is having some weakness, unfavorable K planet is ruling. But same moon antra has supported for completing the chain because it is having 1, 5, 3, 7, 11 and 11 and 1, 5, 2, 11. So you can see these favorable houses are signified by the moon up to the star level, 12 level. Sublord is having some weakness. But this is not going to give any result. It is going to execute the result only, right? Because it is under the Ketu Bugdi, Mars Dasa, Ketu is strong. Within the Ketu Bugdi, the Ketu represented by moon itself, moon in the star and 12 level, that is strong enough for the event to finally to give the result. You can see such signification in many of the events. Especially the delivery and also sometimes the marriage also. The antra, which is very small period, that period, if it is enough up to the star level, also strong enough for having good grouping, it is strong enough to give the result under the favorable Bugdi. So we cannot expect some moon is having some weak significance, how it can give the delivery. For the delivery, it is enough because source is mixed one, that is dasa, and Bugdi is having strong conception also taken place in a strong Bugdi. So that planet is going to give that Bugdi Lord going to give the delivery during the supportive antra. That antra can be favorable or strongly favorable or can have some weakness also, but should have the key planet of the Bugdi Lord. It is having the key planet of the Bugdi Lord. Moon is there and Mercury is there and Venus. All are present. Unfavorable key planet also present, but doesn't matter because Bugdi Lord is not having that unfavorable key planet, right? So that way it is supported. This you have to keep it in mind while we are fixing the IVF period, which period can be supportive for the delivery within the 9 months. Suppose you want to make it before moon, just 1 week, 10 days before, if you take sun will be coming. Sun is not good and sublord is Rahu coming. Here also Rahu coming, but sun itself is not good. It is not having that either moon or Mercury in a ruler. So this is not good. So the moon only will be supportive when compared to the sun, right? So that we have to keep it in mind while we are giving the guidance for the pregnancy and also for the IVF treatment and also for the delivery. You have to keep this in mind and give the guidance accordingly, right? So now let us check the how the transit also would have been supportive at the time of the IVF process, also at the time of the delivery also. So that conception, that IVF treatment, conception would have happened during that September, October. So September, suppose we will take in the month of say October, that conception is taken place 2022. 2022 October. Just a minute. September, October 2022. So approximately mid of October, how was the transit of the Jupiter? Jupiter was there in the sign of Pisces. If you look at the natal chart, Jupiter is there in the Pisces. It is aspecting to the Lagna by fifth aspect and fifth cusp by the seventh aspect. So that way Jupiter is aspecting to the fifth house and also Lagna, that is also good, right? And any other supports that Jupiter is forming. Jupiter in the transit, it is aspecting. Who is the fifth lord? Fifth lord is Mars in the natal chart. Mars is posted here, so that is not being aspected by Jupiter. But Jupiter is aspecting to the Mercury, Venus, and Sun. You can see these are the favorable key planets in the Dasa Lord. The favorable key planet for the progeny is aspected by the Jupiter in the transit. That is also fine. So that way the transit are also supportive and for at the time of the conception. Suppose at the time of the delivery, 2023 and the 7th month and 30th. 30 July 2023. So at the time that Jupiter is transiting in the Taurus sign. So if you look at the natal chart in the Taurus sign, when you're, let me clear this, 37 2023 now, just a minute, let me clear this. So at the time of the delivery, Jupiter is transiting in the Aries sign, aspecting to the second house. That is good, right? So, and Jupiter is aspecting to the natal moon. That is also fine. And Jupiter here, from here, it is aspecting to these Venus, Mercury, these favorable key planets again, the favorable key planets of the Dasa Lord. That is also this supportive. So transit of Jupiter is also good, and during the conception and also during the delivery. So while we are giving the advice or guidance for the IVF, we have to look at the strong favorable key planets, the Buddhi Lord having that good significators, free from the unfavorable key planets, influencing the Dasa Lord on the destiny. That and it take the transit of the Jupiter, which is also favorably present, aspecting to the second house of family and fifth house and moon. If they are all fifth lord is aspected by that Jupiter, so that way it will be good only. You can see the Jupiter in the natal chart. Jupiter is a mixed significator, but Jupiter itself is the ninth lord and occupying 11th house. That way it is good. Otherwise, if Jupiter itself is strongly unfavorable, that transit also can give some unfavorable influence also. That we have to keep it in mind. I think you are able to understand that, what do you call, the impact of the transit also. One more thing also I would like to tell you in this chart, that native got, totally 3 IVF in the process. Okay, so in that third IVF only got success, because that third IVF, it was done during that Mercury Buddhi. Previously, Saturn Buddhi or Jupiter Buddhi, they would have got under the Mars without the guidance. Suppose if they are approaching a good astrologer, they can say that not just because of the transit, Jupiter transit would have been better during that period, they would have consulted, they would have got the guidance that okay, you can try for the IVF, because IVF treatment is very costly, and also that native also will get mentally more stressful, right, because of the failures. And but we can say that no, you have to try during this period only. So period also is important, so we have to check that IVF has to be done during this period, and that will be more safety also. It will not further give more trouble to the health of the female, and also that cost effective also, right? And one more thing also, third, what do you call, after the third, before that, it was having some supportive signification, but not strong enough, right? So third one is Mercury, strong key planet. In this chart, as I said, what you have to keep it in mind, in this chart, the favorable key planet of the destiny is not directly playing role in the Dasa Lord, and the favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord, which is not directly playing role in the Buddhi Lords. They are all in the supports. So, but they have given their influence because of the receiving planets also favorable. So I think you are able to understand the importance of the key planets and importance of the destiny and one more thing, unfavorable K planets of the destiny planet, which is influencing the Dasalad is not strong enough. But same Dasalad planet has given its work as the Antralad in giving the delivery. So when the Bugdi is strong enough, the Bugdilad's key planet, it is ruling in the Antra, it is no other way it has to give. Because though it can have some unfavorable, but Bugdi's favorable key planet is strongly present, and the Antra having those favorable key planet, it is supportive for such delivery in the final result giving planet, right? I think you are able to understand this one. So we will meet in the next video. Good luck.